Welcome to True White Allies, where we celebrate the forgotten history of white anti-racists so their stories can inspire you to take action today. This episode tells the story of William English Walling. He was born to a family of former slave owners. He became one of the founders of an organization that fought for equal rights for black people.
In 1908, an angry mob of white people violently attacked their black neighbors in Springfield, Illinois. Many of the black residents were left injured or dead with damage to their property. A man named William English Walling investigated the riot and published an article that led to a group of activists coming together to fight for racial equality. They formed an organization known as the NAACP. William Walling was a writer, activist, and a wealthy man. He was not well known for being a champion of civil rights, as he was not a man who sought praise for his work. Once, he was even invited to join the Ku Klux Klan. He was born in 1877 in Louisville, Kentucky, to a wealthy family that used to own slaves. His grandfather, William Hayden English, was a politician, and he was the Democratic Party's nominee for vice president in 1880. He was educated in private schools and attended the University of Chicago, where he studied economics and sociology. He also briefly attended Harvard Law School. When his grandfather died, he inherited part of his estate, so he didn't have to work as a student. After he graduated, he lived among people from lower income backgrounds in Chicago, and he took a job as a state factory inspector. He advocated for better rights for workers and successfully convinced the governor to recommend labor laws for the state officially.
So here we have a rich, handsome man in his early 20s who didn't have to care for people less fortunate than him. Rich, attractive, and woke. That's my type.
William Walling moved to New York to live on the Lower East Side in one of the city's poorest and most crowded areas. There, he became actively involved with the unions. In 1903, he helped a group of women create the Women's Trade Union League. The WTUL was one of the first organizations in the US that campaigned for better rights and labor laws for women. He was called the Millionaire Socialist because he would use his money to further the causes he believed in. In 1906, he married Anna Strunsky, a Jewish American woman who emigrated from the Russian Empire. 2 years later, a race riot broke out in Springfield, Illinois. Before the riot broke out, there were two cases where black men had been arrested as suspects. One was for murder and the other was for rape. A white woman had accused a black man of raping her. The sheriff was worried about the men being lynched, so he took them to jail in another town. When the people found out, they were angry, and they took their anger out on the black people in the town. People were murdered in the streets, black businesses and homes were destroyed. The National Guard, which is part of the US military, had to be deployed to calm things down. It's estimated that by today's standards, the damage was nearly $3 million. William Walling and his wife went to investigate the race riot. William wrote an article titled "The Race War in the North," published in The Independent. In the article, he criticized the white residents and called for equal rights for African Americans.
He wrote about how the mob rationalized attacking black people due to mitigating circumstances. Today, when racist people are violent to black people, they say things like, "They acted aggressively," "Oh, I was afraid for my life." And then it turns out that they lied. After the riot in Springfield, the woman who claimed that the black men raped her confessed that she lied. There were rumors that she was lying to cover up the fact that she was having an affair.
In the article, William Walling wrote, "The day these methods become general in the North, every hope of political democracy will be dead. Other weaker races and classes will be persecuted in the North as in the South. Yet who realizes the seriousness of the situation and what large and powerful body of citizens is ready to come to their aid?" A woman named Mary White Ovington read his article and responded to his call to action. She was one of many people of different races who created the NAACP. But William Walling never chased recognition for this. In a letter, W.E.B. Du Bois, a well-known civil rights activist, said to Walling, "Personally, I know perfectly well that you are the real founder of the organization."
Oh look, an ally that didn't want a pat on the back for doing the right thing. He probably also didn't go around telling people he couldn't be racist because he had black friends.
The NAACP still exists today, and they are one of the organizations that are still fighting for racial justice. What a fantastic legacy to leave behind. So what can white people who want to be allies learn from William Walling, the Millionaire Socialist? Use your privilege to help others. Don't just say, "I'm a white person. What do I know about racial justice?" and do nothing. Use your privilege as a white person to support the cause. Sponsor it if you can, and convert are the white people. Being a supporter or a sponsor doesn't mean centering yourself or seeking accolades. It means doing the work because it's the right thing to do. True allies don't call themselves allies. It's something other people call you because of your actions. Hi, I'm Nathan Banks, and if you enjoyed watching this video, please like it and share it with 2 white people that you think would benefit from watching it.